Assalamu alaikum students, mathematics 4024 trigonometry, and I hope you all remember the last lecture, and the video has been uploaded on the channel. If you are still unclear about the trigonometry concept, so I will recommend you to watch that video. In the previous video, or we can say that in the previous class, I told you about the introduction of trigonometry, what does trigonometry means, and what is basically the syllabus of trigonometry, what type of questions are coming in your paper, and sort of things we discussed in the previous class. We discussed about some methods which we can use to solve right angle triangles, and we solved one question as well in the last video, and at the end we solved it. I told you about something about the trigonometric ratios, and the three basic trigonometric ratios are sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. And we solved a question. We saw that how can we apply the trigonometric ratio, and we also discussed that how can we remember these formulas, these ratios. And I told you three words: so, ka, tua, which will help you in memorizing the formulas. And if you are still unclear, I will recommend you to watch the video and then watch this video, because this is the application of trigonometric ratios, or we can say that this is the continuation of that video. In this video, we'll be solving a question just to strengthen our concept on the application of trigonometric ratios. And I have solved this question, and so I will just be explaining this question in this video. The question which we have is that we have a right angle triangle, and this is the right angle triangle in front of you. The name of the right angle triangle is X, Y, and Z. These are capital letters, so we can say that these the letters are always represented by angles. We use capital letters to represent angles and small letters to represent the length of sides. So X, Y, Z is the name of the right angle triangle, and the side of the length is B, C, and A. This has been mentioned in the question, and I have been asked to find the value of sin x, cos x, and tan x. And in the later part, I have been asked to find the value of sin y, cos y, and tan y. So first of all, I told you in order to write the values, write the trigonometric ratios, you first have to label your triangle. Since this is a right angle triangle, so I know that there will be a 90-degree angle in this right angle triangle. The side which is opposite to the 90-degree is the hypotenuse, and I will label it as H. The length of this side is C, which has been given in the question already. And now I will focus on the angle which is required, or which is under consideration. So I can see that the angle X is under consideration in this part. So I will just write a theta in place of X. This is my X, so I will just write a theta in place of X. This is angle theta, which is represented by X. And now I will label my opposite and adjacent side. I know that the side which is opposite to this angle, this is angle X, and this side is opposite to angle X. So this will be my opposite side. I will write O in order to represent this side. This is the opposite side. And the next side, the remaining side, is the adjacent side, and I will write A in order to label it. Now since my labeling has been completed, and now I will just have to write the three terms which will help me to write the formula, that are so, SOH, Kah, CAH, and Tua, TOA. As for sine theta, here theta is X, so I will write sin X equals to, I know that O is opposite and H is hypotenuse. Sine theta is basically the ratio of opposite side and hypotenuse. I know that opposite side is, the dimension of the opposite side is A, so I will write A in the numerator, and the dimension of the hypotenuse is C. The length of the hypotenuse is C, which is given in the question, so I will write C in the denominator, and this is the answer of sin x. In order to write cos x, ka, C for cos x, A for adjacent, and H for hypotenuse. So since I have labeled my figure, the adjacent side is the B. The length of the adjacent side is B, so I will write B in the numerator, divided by hypotenuse. The length of hypotenuse is C, so I will again write C in the denominator. cos x is equals to b upon c. 10x, 2a, p for 10x, o for opposite, and a for adjacent. Opposite side is the length of the opposite side in this question is a, so I will write a in the numerator. And the length of the adjacent side is b, so I will write b in the denominator. So the value of 10x is equals to a upon b. Similarly, in the next part, since the angle is changed, the angle has been changed. Now the angle which is under consideration is y. So I have to make a separate diagram. It's not mandatory to to draw a separate diagram. You can show the working, or you can show the complete labeling in one diagram also. But since I found it helpful, and I think that it avoids mistakes, so I draw a figure, separate figure. But it's up to you to draw a separate figure. It is not mandatory. If you want to do the labeling in the first figure, you can also do the labeling in the first figure. So I have drawn a separate figure just to show you cleanly. This is the figure, required figure. I have drawn it again. I have labeled it with the same letters y, x, and z. The length of this side is a, so I have written a, small a. The length of this side is c, and the length of this side is b. This is the right angle triangle, since there is a 90-degree angle, and this is the 90-degree angle at z. So the side opposite to this will be the hypotenuse, so I have written h over here. And now I will see what is the angle of consideration over here. The angle of consideration is y, so I will just write theta in place of y. This is my angle y, and I will write a theta. And now I will label my opposite and adjacent side. I know that this theta opposite to this side will be the opposite side, so I will write O in order to represent this side as my opposite, and the remaining side will be the adjacent side, so I will write A. Now again, so ka tua, just to memorize the formulas. So sin y equals to opposite upon hypotenuse. What is the value of opposite? Opposite is b. So I will write b in the numerator, and then divide by what is hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is c, so I will write c in the denominator. Sin y is equals to b upon c. Ka, c, a, h. C for cos y, a for adjacent, and h for hypotenuse. The length of the adjacent side is a, so I will write a in the numerator, divided by the length of hypotenuse is c, so I will write c in the denominator. Cos y is equals to a upon c. And the last one is 10y, and the term is 2a. 10y equals to opposite upon adjacent. Opposite side is the b side. The length of the opposite side is b, which is mentioned in the question, and the adjacent side is a. So 10y will be equals to b upon a. Since we only have to label it and we just have to write the ratios, so these all are our required answers. And we did a similar sort of question in the previous class as well, so I decided to solve another question just to strengthen your concept. So I hope that now you are clear about this opposite and adjacent side, and we will move further in the next class inshallah. Until then, take care. Allah Hafiz.